Hey Flosstube, it's Elena, the Stitching Farmer. I am back for a long overdue update. It's probably been like 3 or 4 months since my last Flosstube, so I got lots to show today. Uh, but I just, life's been busy. The kids are finally back in school, so I have a little bit more time. I have my mornings back during my weeks off. So um, this is a Letistitch, very pretty water lily design. It's got really pretty colors. And I think this is a computer generated picture. So I think it is coming out pretty close though um, to the picture. So I believe that I am 25% of the way done. I haven't put any back stitch in. There's not a whole lot of back stitch. I think mostly the back stitches. Um, there's some in the water lilies, and then I don't know what part of the flower you call that, and then some in the lily pads. And I believe there are French knots as well. I think maybe around in here. And there's a good bit of French knots, but I'm really enjoying working on this. I love the colors. They're very pretty and bright. And this is my color palette. I love the pinks and blues and greens. So I think I have done this portion and finished this. I don't think this was done last time you saw it either. So that is Water Lily by Letistitch. All right, so next up, got my dimensions kit that I'm working on. I just like keep it all in the plastic. This is Fairytale. This one is Ruth Sanderson. They have a lot of her designs. The seasonal fairies are all Ruth Sanderson. So she seems to be pretty popular. And so here is Fairytale. Let's see if I get it all in there. I got my Cinderella looking carriage there. Let me see if I can find how far I am on this design. So since the last time you've seen it, I have started working. I was going to save this for last, but I just got kind of tired of looking at it faceless. And plus I want to kind of work my way down. So I filled in her face. My scissors here. Filled in her face, did her hair. This part is going to be a slog to get through, and honestly, this part has been too. Luckily, this is all half cross stitch here, so it has gone pretty fast. But this, I don't have my glasses on, but I believe it's full crosses. Yeah, this mostly is full cross. Oops, sorry about that. But this is mostly full cross here, and it's brown, which is not one of my favorite colors to work with. I like blue, the color blue, but even that is getting a little boring to work with. So let's see what percent I am. Pull up my saga. So I'm at 16.5%. So maybe I can make it to 25% by the end of the year. In the Letistitch kit, I'm at 28.4%. So little more than halfway. But slow progress on this one. I haven't been pulling it out a whole lot. All right, let's see what else I have to share. I pulled out, so Mirror May happened a few months ago. So I pulled out my Mirabilia. I didn't get much farther than the last time I showed it, though. I think I got this done in her wings on both sides. So I was hoping to finish her wings, but that didn't happen. I've still got to pull out this blending filament. I've decided I'm going to go back and put Cryonic number 4 in. So all this purple, and I've done some of the red here. I think it'll look better when it's thicker. And the blending filament is not fun to work with. Uh, so let me see if I can find. This is the finished piece for her. This is September Sapphire Fairy, if I forgot to say that. I'm doing it for my daughter. She's my September baby. And so if you see, usually when you use blending filament, it's blended with a strand of DMC, but this one's not. I've looked all through the pattern. I can't find where it says to actually blend it. So I'm decided I'm just going to switch it out for number 4. Because you basically have to use like a laying tool to lay it, to get it to lay flat, or it will just twist on you. And it's a big pain. So what's next? Oh, and I believe this is the fabric's 32 count Wisteria by, I think it's Garibaldi. It's the name of her company. The other 2 are just done on the kit fabric. All right. So next up, I did start on One Stitch Along, the Lola Crow. I'm sure y'all are probably sick of seeing this one. But here is where I am. Let's see if I can get it all in frame here for you guys. All right, that's pretty good. So I am currently 3 parts behind, I believe. So I still haven't finished this part either, so I guess technically 4 parts. So once I finish that, there's like 2 little dinosaurs that go here. There's another release with the dinosaur up here and a couple birds. And then the newest one has a volcano there. So I like it so far. I think it's cute. This one's my favorite dinosaur. I love his colors. Or maybe this one. I like that one too. I've done all the back stitching except for on the well. But everything else, I am caught up on the back stitching and this one too, because it said to wait to do it on here because something's big's going there. I think it might be the woolly mammoth. I can see like a head and maybe some tusk here. I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking. I'm sure there's going to be a woolly mammoth somewhere in here. But so far, I have enjoyed working on this piece. This has been my work stitch, so anytime it gets a little slow at work, I'll pull this out and put some stitches in. I will say it was a bit boring doing all of this part, but I just got through it now. So now I'm putting in colors. Except for this one. This is what I'm working on right now. It's been a slog to stitch that up because it's not very colorful. But once I start putting in the little dinos, I think, are they velociraptors? I can't remember. But we watched Jurassic Park the other night because it's a good summer movie. But only like one of my kids really enjoyed it, I feel like, and that was my youngest, my daughter. It might have been a little too intense for her. She's only 5. Sorry, I had to get a drink of water. But she seemed to like it. She wanted me to pause it while she went to the bathroom, so that means she was into it. And my oldest son, he was watching it too, but I'm not sure that he was really enjoying it. But I was thinking about giving it to my youngest son, putting it in his room when I'm done. I wouldn't say that he's like a big dino lover or anything, but kind of fits like he's 10, so I think it would fit a 10-year-old boy's room. I don't know if my daughter would like it. I'm planning on putting the fairy, if I ever finish that, in her room. All right, so moving on. Put these out. I did get to go to the Chatelaine retreat. It was probably been about a month ago. It was like mid-July. And I'll put a video with the brag table at the end. But for the retreat, there was a retreat exclusive. It's by Sosna Designs. Let's see if I can find, I think there's a picture of it in here. All right, so you can purchase this. I think you have to email her, but this is by Katie Tenike, I think is how you say her last name. I'm not 100% sure on that. Hopefully I didn't just butcher it. But it's a really pretty design. This is all I worked on at the retreat. So I finished doing this middle part. There's mostly like, this is all just specialty stitches in there pretty much. And in the middle here, so I worked on just getting in some of this color here. I got the blue, the yellow, and I started doing, oh, I'm sorry, I gotta take that. Okay, sorry about that. I had to take that call. It was, I had to set up a sports physical for my son in the state of Florida. They have to have a ECG done. So I had a, he wants to try out for soccer, so I was getting that all set up for him. So, but anyway, so back to this. So I've done this blue part. I can't tell where it is. It must be this part right here. I've done. So the colors are very pretty. You can probably see, I know some people have finished this on Instagram. I think Kitschy Whip, she's finished hers. Traveling Stocking Stitcher, I believe she finished hers. And maybe, I think Amy, Fiber Arts, Amy's still working on hers. So, but it's very pretty. I'll put the name of the fabric on there. I know it's a 28 count. I can't remember. It's not the retreat exclusive. I think it might be, oh, I'll put it down. I think it might be Fibers on a Whim or something. All right, so that is that one. Oh, and we also got, for part of the going to the retreat, so it's going to have the, I don't know, is it pronounced Tilla or Tyla beads? Not sure, the little square beads. And there's some pretty delicas in there too, and then Rainbow Gallery. Got some purple and silver, black, and a gold in there. All right, so next up, let me see where I put that. Okay, so I'll show you. This is my new Tutto Stitch. So I got a wild hair one weekend, and I was like, I'm starting something new. I already had it kitted up, but I was going to try to wait until I finished Skeleton's Val. But I kind of had a bad weekend, so I needed something to cheer me up. It's a little, I had it folded up. The thing about, this is stitched on a Lugana. The thing about Lugana is it doesn't really have a memory, they say. Like it'll go back to the way it was. So this is Pearl by Tutto Stitch. I'll put it up in the corner. Let me see if I can just pull it up for you here. Just be easier. And I could be saying the name of the company wrong. I don't know. I pronounce it Tutto Stitch, but it could be Tutto Stitch, maybe. I will say her designs, they're pretty complex, but she does give very good instructions with them. Let me just search it up here, as my kids like to say. All right, so Pearl. And get a big picture up here. All right, so this is the finished stitch. So This is very little cross stitch, I will say. It is a ton of specialty stitches. There are so many specialty stitches. I'll see if I can get y'all in a little closer. Let's see if I put it on 0.5. Oh, nope. We went out, not in. Sorry. All right, here we go. So, first of all, you can see, let me get the completed here. Everything but its little beads. It's gonna have some little beads there. You can see. Can you see how furry it is? This is done with the fuzzies. Let me go get the fuzzy stuff. Hold on. All right, so I went and grabbed my floss pack. So let me show you this fuzzy stuff. This is fuzzy stuff. Okay, so it's fuzzy, right? Let me tell you, this stuff is such a pain to work with. I like the outcome. I think it's cute. The little bee he's cute. But oh my goodness, like it sheds like crazy. So I was trying to use like shorter pieces. That's what they always tell you when you have thread like this. That's a pain to work with. But I just had black and gold stuff everywhere. It was like all over me, all over the cross stitch. Just every time you pull it through, it would just shed. And then I couldn't decide, like, should I do the black first or the gold first? I did black first, and then I went back and put the gold in. So I was afraid it would cover it up with the black if I went through second. So I don't know if that was the best choice. Also, these little bees have the fuzzy stuff. That's all that it's used in, though, so it's not a whole lot, luckily. So another thing, so these here, I messed up on it. So I put in just, so as you can see, I did the outline first. So these are all 3/4 stitches. I got off a half a stitch somewhere here, and I didn't realize it until I made it all the way over here. So I had to rip out all of this all the way back to where I made the mistake. So after that, I really started paying attention to make sure I was on the right thread. This is easy to do. And these, I wish, going back, I wish I would have done the Jessica first and then done the 3/4 stitches. But looks wise, it might not really make that big of a difference. As you can tell, I'm putting in the Jessicas. I don't mind doing Jessicas, but you do really have to pay attention for them. And these are a little harder because they're blended. So you got one strand of, I believe it's, I can't remember if it's a water lily or MPI, and you blend it with a, what is that, gold, with a gold thread. Oh, it's the Cryonic blending filament. And that stuff likes to come apart on you. So they're a little hard to do. Also, I feel like I have it, I'm working on it on a frame. I took it off right now because I took it to the thing, but I feel like it's stretched out. Like, look at how long these are, and these are wide. Is that right? I don't know. They just look like they've been stretched out. No, these are more like circular, I think. So all of these, where's my scissors? All of these black squares here are all eyelets. It's hard to tell because they're in black. So you really can't see the little hole in them all that well. And then these are like a rice stitch. And then it's got a half road in between each one. So that makes that design. This one, this cross stitch here is also a blend of a water lily and some type of blending filament. This is a blend as well with the black, and it's kind of like a pearlescent color. These are all road stitches. And then you actually have a little cross stitch. These flowers are cross stitch. I haven't finished back stitching a full one yet. There is a lot of back stitching though on these, and it's back stitched in blending filament. There's lots of roads. These are, I think these turned out pretty neat. Kind of just satin stitches basically. You have black and then some white shiny thread on the end. More Jessicas. Hard to tell because they're in black. I guess those would be just a road stitch, just in a circular pattern instead of square. Let's see, what else do we got here? Let's get up into one of these corners. All right, so we got, these are more rice stitches. You got the gold metallic in the middle, and then that black and pearlescent color blending filament mixed together there. All of these are all eyelets, all these black squares. I think I counted, I want to say there's 126 per side. Now in the pattern she calls for, so I went with the NPI silk. I mean, you could do just fine with DMC. You would never know the difference because it's just black and white and some grays. But I went bougie and got the NPI. She calls for one of these, black. But I think I'm going to end up needing at least 3, possibly 4. I tried to tell her, but I emailed her and let her know, but I think we might have had some miscommunication. But if you decide to stitch this, just know that you're going to need more black. These are neat. So these are eyelets, and there's 3 different color threads. So you start with, I want to say you start with the black, and then did like the white and then the silver on top of it. And then we have some more Jessicas. These are more of the square shaped Jessicas. And oh, another thing, so they've all got beads in the middle. So this one, I'm like, how am I going to fit a Delica in each of these? I think it's going to be hard, but I'll do my best. There's just not a very big opening in there for a Delica. The wings end up turning out pretty cool. So this is blending filament that they're done in. I think, oh, these are neat. These are like kind of a crescent stitch here. So these flowers. So I really like the way that they turned out. I was trying to watch the back rooms while stitching it. So, but that, I know a lot of people like that movie, but it wasn't for me. I didn't really, I did like Obsession. A lot of people have been watching that one lately. I enjoyed Obsession. So there's gonna be a lot of beads. So I know like all these in the middle, there's gonna be beads here. It's heavily beaded. So lots and lots of beads. One of the beads I cannot get. I've gotten all the other ones except for the twisted bugle, like old twisted bugle. I guess they're having a hard time making the any of the gold plated ones right now. So they do have the non-twisted bugle. So if I get to the point of beading before it comes out, I might just switch over to that. So like these are, can't really tell, but these are black bugles. And here's all the beads. So these are pretty cool. These are the sew-on ones. They're like teardrop shaped. Little flowers. Hoping you can see these good. Little kind of ovals. More ovals. Okay, so we got, I'm sorry, I'm shaking. I'm at my dining room table. These squares here. So there's going to be a crown. This will be a crown. I believe that's where the squares go into that crown there. Pearls, lots of pearls, white pearls, black pearls, got your rondelles, or no, I'm sorry, bicones, not rondelles, and then some more gold pearls. All right, so that is that one. Let me clean this up and then I'll pull out Skeleton's Bow. Okay, so here is Skeleton's Bow. Sorry, I'm having to be a little quicker than I'd like. I'm about to have to go get my children from off the bus. Oh, what was I doing? So this is another Tutto Stitch design. Let me pull up the pattern so I can show you guys. Oh, kids have been using my iPad and they like to lock it into a certain configuration. And they like it landscape and I like it portrait style. So let's find Skeleton's Bow on her website. All right, so here is the completed design. I try to do I liked it on the darker style fabric. So this is 32 count dark cobblestone, and it's just by Zweigart. So again I took this to Chatelaine Retreat, so that's why it's not currently on its scroll frame. So let me get you in a little closer. Oh, I keep doing that, sorry about that. So this is the last time you saw it. Let me pull it out so I can get my hand under. I have been working up here. Oh, I just want to show you these triple Jessicas here up close. So you start with the middle and then you work your way out. A really cool effect. I really like it. So I have now completed 3 skeletons, so one more down, or one more to go. These are the King Proteate. I don't know how to actually pronounce it. And there's an anaconda wrapped up in there too. So see these stitches? I think they turned out pretty cool. And got some eyelets. These are cool, these crescent type flowers here. More eyelets. And then everything's outlined in gold. Hopefully you can tell that it's shiny thread. These are another one. These were fun to do. After I got the hang of it, I mean, I think I pulled them out 3 times before I finally got it down. Got the Death Head Hawk Moss going here. I haven't finished those yet, but I did all the cross stitching. There's a lot of beading in the wings here. And then these will be rice stitches, I believe. I'm having a hard time getting through these corners. So these flowers here are really been a struggle to get through. And so have these, because these are over 1 stitches. And you'll do like 10 stitches in this one of the purple colors. And then so you have to tie it off. And then you do 10 stitches in this one, 10 stitches, all the way around. So that's just one of the starting and stopping isn't one of the things I really enjoy doing. I like to go with it. And these have a good bit of back stitch in them as well. Just trying to think of other things. I just want to show you these little dragonflies up close. They're just so cool. So you stitch this part, it's just 1 strand of the floss color. And then you put all this back stitching on top. So you can barely see the cross stitches under it, but you just see that little peak of color through. I really like the way she did that in her design. And these are really cool stitches too. So you do the X, and then you go round and round and round with your thread. And I made mine like as full as I could get it. So I tried to get it until I couldn't get any more thread through. And I think it really turned out well. There is a good bit of over one stitching, so if that isn't your thing, you know, you might not want to do this. Her instructions are really good though. But again, like remember how I was saying about how it stretches it out? Look how long his face is. And then his over here is much wider. So I was thinking about maybe flipping it around and stretching it on the bars the other way once I finish all the cross stitching before I do the beading. Oh, I did forget to put that one skeleton's teeth in. He's got some shiny grills going, very holographic kind of looking. Do you have any questions about either of these? I know she's kind of a newer designer. I think her charts are fabulous though. Her instructions, I think the instructions like, I don't know, it's like 20 or 30 pages long. So I'm hoping to finish by the end of the year. I'd like to finish this top portion. So then I just have to flip it around and do it again. I don't flip it around, but I have to scroll down to the bottom and then do it all over again. That's the one thing that's hard about these mandala pieces is doing everything 4 times. Like that does get a little old. I noticed in some of her newer designs, let me show you some of her newer ones, but she's doing different things on each side, which I like because it gets tiring doing the same thing over and over and over. You're like, I already stitched this. I don't want to stitch it again. So this is her Pride and Prejudice design. I know it's a very popular book. A lot of people like. I've only seen the Keira Knightley version of it. I haven't seen the I can't call. Is it Colin Firth? He did the mini series, but I would like to go back. I want to watch it though. But so all the palaces, mansions, houses, whatever, they're all different. But there are a lot of elements that are all the same. Like you're gonna have to stitch this peacock 8 times, and these little peacock feather rose designs you'll have to stitch it 4 times. And I think the only thing in this that's over 1 are, I want to say their faces. So that's not too bad because it looks like these butterflies could be over 1, but I don't think they are. And I want to do it in green if I get to stitch it. She also shows it in pink. And then another design that's new is Midsummer Night's Dream for all the Shakespeare fans. If I stitched it, I would want to do it on the dark color. It is Midsummer's Night after all. So I think this one has a lot of over 1. These people, I bought the pattern, so I'm pretty sure like all the people are over 1. I think maybe the fairies in the corner too. I thought it'd be cool to have the Shakespeare wall, like with this, and then the Mirabilia Shakespeare fairies, or Titania, or what's the other fairy? I think it's just called Midsummer Night's Fairy. That fairy was the reason I fell in love with Mirabilia, and I still haven't stitched it. Like I got everything I needed to do it, and then I had never stitched on linen before, so it was looking just awful. I think now I could probably do a better job. So I'd like to go back but my daughter, I pulled out Titania, and she was just like, oh, it's pink. She likes the color pink, so I thought maybe I could do it for her room too. But I thought having a Shakespeare wall would be cool. So last but not least, I did pull out my Chatelaine quite a bit since the last time you saw it. Let me see, I've got a few more minutes before I have to go. So I'm starting to think of this as my whip of shame. I have been working on this now you're going to see a huge mess, but I'm going to go out with it so you can see it all. So this is my whip of shame. I have been working on this for, let me think, I think 4 years now. So I got it to do for my daughter's room. So my plan is, my stretch goal would be to finish it by the end of the year. Realistically, I would like to finish this top part. Let's see if I can get it sitting nicely here on the table. Okay. So, since the last time you saw it, let me zoom you in. I have finished these side gardens here. Side gardens. So I filled in all the, let's see if I can go get a little bit further into. So I've done like these eyelets. I can't remember what she calls these. Oh, I think they're just like diamond eyelets. I didn't open them up real much. It's kind of hard to see anyway because it's a darker color there. Let's see, and these Jessicas here and this flower. Sorry, I'm going to go in and out here. So these are, I want to say they're hollyhocks, and they are very confetti heavy. So you'll put in like just one stitch of one color and a lot. So you do that so many times. And so you just do one stitch and then you have to finish it off. And then you'll go and put it in over here and then here and then here. So they have been a slog to get through. But I've done 2 now, 6 more to go. So each one is like a different color. So here's the pink one on this side. So again, I finished this on this side. I forgot to go back. There's 1 stitch of color in between each one. So I need to put that in. And then I'll be completely done with the sides. Sorry. I have been putting this off for a long time. These delicate flower borders is what she refers to them as. Not that it's hard, it just requires a lot of concentration. And you'll be like ripping out a lot and then having to redo it again because you miscount, you'll be off by like 1 stitch. And another thing, I'm trying to go slow, her face, I'm not like the happiest with her face. It was all over one. That was one of the reasons like I was putting it off working on it because I wasn't real excited about doing the over one, but I don't think it's so bad now that I've done it. After I did it so much on Skeleton's Vow with those skeletons. But I don't like her eyes. There's something just off about her eyes. And I think it's okay to share this diagram with you guys because it's been shared on the Chatelaine support group. But and once you see, you'll be like, oh yeah, I get it. So she says to stitch the faces with 1 ply of the indicated color and adjust lengths of stitches to taste. Make longer stitches if possible and let them lay rather loosely over the previous worked over one crosses. I really don't understand. It's like that Jennifer Lawrence meme where she's like, I don't understand. So you can see they're not even in like a hole. Like this one is, but like most of this eye, like how that's not a hole. So you just kind of have to make it up as I go. Like the mouth here, like there's no hole there. There's in the middle, but so it's been a struggle. I finally got it where I'm somewhat happy. I mean, I think it's as good as it's gonna get. I looked at other people's faces that have posted it, and I don't think anyone's really got it perfectly, but I think from a distance, it looks okay. But just don't get up too close to it. feel like, oh, her eyes are a little wonky. Eyebrows are a little wonky. And her shoes are so cute, though. I love her little ballet slippers with the little bows here. And her her little leaf shoulder pads, I guess. And then this one here, I've started the blue fairy. This is what I'm currently working on. So I finished her, got her face all done except for the back stitching. And got to do her, I've done most of her gown. Still some more blue in here, and then her wings. And I'll be done with her, and then I'm going to roll it up, and I got to do, let me pull up the pattern. Having to check the time here. Oh, I don't really have much time for an update. Thought I had it pulled up. So let me pull her pattern up. Let's see, fairy. So this is the Fairy Flowergarden Mandala. So it's a good sized design. The dragonflies are really pretty. They're heavily beaded. There's also a lot of color changes in them too. So once I finish her, I'm going to roll it up, and then I'll do, I think I might go ahead and do these little corners and outline it, and then I'll come in and do this middle, and then finish off with that flower border there. Oh, and then of course can't forget the hollyhocks. I like the way they turned out, but actually stitching them has not been a lot of fun just because of all the color changes. But I really like, she's really pretty fairy. She has a really neat dress design. And they all have the cute little shoes. And then this one's really cute too. I like the purple fairy. And I guess you call her the green fairy, green yellow. So hopefully I can finish the top part by the end of the year. What is it? September, October, November, December. I got like 4 more months because today is, it's August the 24th. So I've got like 4 more months to do it. So I think I can do it. I might not be able to work on much other than this. Hopefully I can come in and get Skeleton's Vow, the top part of it, done as well. Those are my 2 big goals for the end of the year, is finish those 2. Then hopefully I'll get the Lola Crow done too. Just gotta catch up. Oh, I did bring one more thing. Didn't I? Maybe I did forget. I forgot about my 12 days of Christmas. I was gonna show, I'll show it real quick. I got a few more minutes for, I don't really have much time for an update. Do it real fast. So for spring break, we went to St. Augustine. I might have showed, actually, I think I took a video and put that on, that we went to the gator farm. So other than that, though, we've just had summer. Well, I don't have the pattern. Hopefully I'll know what the 12 days, this is the 3 French hens from the 12 days of Christmas. I can pull up the pattern real quick. But this is from the Nora line. And so I went to the Chatelaine retreat, and okay, so 3 French hens. That's 3 French hens pattern, lots and lots and lots of yellow. And I messed up on this border because of this grid here. So I thought that was my 10 by 10 grid that I was going off of instead of the actual 10 by 10 grid. So I got off, And so I had to rip out like all of this and this. I'd done some of the yellow down there. So that kind of put me off from this too. So I haven't gotten very far in the 3 French hens. But hopefully once I finish the Lola Crow, I'll get back to it. And so I'll put up from the Chatelaine retreat. I took a video of the brag table, the most amazing brag table you've ever seen. There was just so much sparkles and shine. You had to wear your sunglasses to see it all. Just kidding. And I had great table mates. It was just a fun time. Got lots of stitching in, played some door prizes, played some games. Trying to think what else. I'm going to Disney World. Kind of up in the air. I don't want to go into too much detail, but maybe I'll go into more detail. I just don't have the time today. So it might just end up being my daughter and I that go down to Disney World. If we go, I'm still kind of on the fence about whether we'll even go or not in September. Other than that, I don't really have much else going on or coming up. So hopefully I'll be back at the end of September. I'm going to try. That's my goal. So we'll talk to you guys in a month. Take care.